Coming up, a major Flagstaff road project is underway, but don't expect it to be finished anytime soon. Plus, a local group works to preserve Navajo culture and tradition. The news starts now.
You're watching NAZ Today, Northern Arizona's local news.
Good evening and welcome to NAZ Today. I'm Tori Smith.
And I'm Liam Combs. Thanks for tuning in. Flagstaff City Council is moving forward with the John Wesley Powell Boulevard expansion project despite slowdowns from the pandemic. With funding from Proposition 419, a voter-approved tax to fund 20 years of transportation projects in Flagstaff, the City Council is moving forward with an ambitious expansion to the existing J.W. Powell Boulevard. The plan is to extend the road east of Lone Tree and connect through 4th Street. City officials say Prop 419 would only account for 40% of the total funding, and the rest would have to come from the property owners or other sources.
The fact that we've reached out early and established these relationships early and are having these conversations early and often, I think is one of the keys to success in any project of this scale, is that we build those community relationships. We don't build roads for their own sake, we build them for the community.
Although Dector says Phase 1 focuses on gathering input from those directly affected by the project, she says the pandemic has put a strain on the process, leading to pushbacks and delays. As a result, there's no timeline yet for Phase 2, when all citizens will be asked to weigh in. Capital Improvements Manager David Peterson says the original alignment for the new road would slice through 20 to 30 parcels of land, but he is working on alternative routes to reduce that burden. With so many moving parts, Peterson says he wants people to be patient and get involved when they can, which for many is months away. Peterson says there is no reasonable estimate as to when construction will begin or end, but he did note that the funds from Prop 419 will run out in 2040 and would hope to have the project completed by then. By the way, that federal infrastructure money we've heard so much about, officials say it can't be used for this project.
U.S. health officials have authorized a new antibody drug that fights Omicron. According to a press release, the antibody has not been approved, but has been authorized for emergency use by the FDA. The state of Arizona has added nearly 2,800 COVID-19 cases and 42 deaths while cases begin to decline.
NAU police are warning all students to be on alert to online threats. NAUPD has received recent reports of blackmail, fraud, and threats through email or social media. NAUPD urges students to be careful when sharing personal information. Suspects use images of their victims as a way of blackmailing as a part of their scam. In other news, Flagstaff City Council is considering whether to approve a 10-year housing plan. A recent survey of local residents suggests that there is a housing emergency that is causing people to leave the community. The survey reports that a little over 58% of Flagstaff residents are nearly certain or to somewhat likely to relocate due to housing costs.
It's a landmark of sorts, and if you visit Sedona, you've probably passed by it or even stopped by. Over the weekend, we decided to stop in and take a look at the Native American Artisan Market. Navajo culture and jewelry thrives at this little spot at the Oak Creek Overlook. It's run by the local nonprofit Native American for Community Action, or NACA. Small business owner Meryl Begay says she loves attending the craft market to meet customers and share her story and culture.
I have to rebuild my inventory while I'm at home, so I tell people this is my vacation. I go home, it's work, back to work.
All of the jewelry, pottery, and art at this market must be Native American handcrafted items.
This is a program that's regulated and making sure it's Native American, authentically handmade and handcrafted.
All the stones in Navajo culture have meaning, and turquoise is the most prominent and symbolic to their tradition.
It has to do with healing, prosperity, happiness, joy, protection, because we use them in our ceremonies.
This craft market typically has 16 tables that are reserved for Native American entrepreneurs, where they can sell their traditional handcrafted products.
It's a partnership that we have with the Coconino National Forest Service, and we operate under a special use permit. and we have vendors set up, and this is one of the economic development ventures that we have within our program to provide sustainability, independence for our Native American entrepreneurs.
During the winter, the Native American Craft Market is open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and during the summer, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. It is located off of Route 89A to Sedona. Plan ahead if you're traveling on the I-17 between Phoenix and Flagstaff. Speed limits have been reduced and lanes will be restricted to one lane in various locations until Friday afternoon. 2-mile segments will be closed between milepost 31 to 309 while workers install fiber optic cables. And you can expect more occasional delays as installation continues over the next several months.
With Valentine's Day coming to a close, it may be time to give some love and affection to a homeless dog or cat. This week's Pet of the Week is a perfect candidate.
NAZ Today's Michaela Richardson joins us live in the studio with this week's Pet of the Week.
Thanks, Tori. This week we met Kilo. While his name matches his size, his heart is just as big. Active, loyal, and curious, Kilo is the perfect pup for those with an adventurous side.
Kilo is an 18-month-old German Shepherd mix. He's already been neutered. Came into us from a home with another animal, but he didn't seem to get along with the other animals.
While extremely lovable, he is best suited as the only animal in the house. That being said, Kilo craves attention and is very social.
So, very nice dog, very high energy, loves to greet people. He likes to jump up in people's face and say hi to them.
Kilo is ready to come home with his new family on the same day of adoption.
His adoption fee is $215. That pays for all his shots we already given him, already being fixed, microchip, health check by the vet, 30 days of health insurance.
He is eager to find his forever home. If you believe you are a good match, he is available for adoption at Coconino Humane Association today. Michaela Richardson, NAZ Today.
This is your 15 minutes, buddy. You gotta make the most of it.
Coming up, gas prices are on the rise as the Biden administration works to reduce inflation. Stay with us.
So glad Kilo was able to get his 15 minutes of fame. Northern Arizona, I did say last week we're going to see a spike in warm temperatures. However, we are doing a 180 this day. We will have a wind advisory until 8 p.m. tonight. Make sure to look for some unsecure objects, including minor tree damage and even difficulty driving, but that mainly pertains to commercial trucks. I'll have more after the break.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Fast-paced family life in need of a slowdown?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. Did you know all those green shapes on maps are parks and forests? It's true. Visit discovertheforest.org and plan to visit a park or forest near you, instead of just wondering what it would have been like.
While the word forest might make you think of distant lands from far, far away, please note parks and forests are closer than you think, which means things like beautiful scenery, fresh air, and family time are also closer than you think.
I'm Rudy Tempesta. I'm 92 years old. I fought in World War II. Then I came home, worked for the post office for 70 years. I've been getting Meals on Wheels, and I enjoy it. The most important thing about Meals on Wheels is you meet the people, which to me is fantastic. You need people to keep your brain moving. That's what life is about. It's love and having a conversation with people.
Gas prices are on the rise as inflation continues to be a growing problem. With the demand for oil going up and supply lacking due to COVID-related shortages, the problem is expected to continue for some time. CNN's Gabe Cohen reports.
Add gas prices to the list of surging costs weighing on Americans' wallets.
The price has been a little bit more each time.
The national average now around $3.44 a gallon, up more than $1 from a year ago, and the highest since 2014.
It's just like, damn, like it changes the way I pump gas.
And it's only getting worse, approaching the record national average of $4.11.
Do you think we could hit that record in the months ahead?
I think we have a very good chance.
It's an issue of supply and demand dating back to the start of COVID. Just look at this roller coaster chart of U.S. gas prices over time. In March 2020, prices plummeted. Americans weren't on the road. Oil producers, including OPEC, cut back on investments and operations. They had nowhere to store extra oil.
They laid off employees. They didn't work their rigs.
But when the vaccines rolled out, demand for fuel skyrocketed, more than experts expected. And the oil industry didn't have the supply. They're still playing catch up.
You can't just turn on a spigot. These are long cycle projects.
So gas prices have been surging for 14 months, only briefly dipping during Omicron. Demand is back at pre-pandemic levels. Even AAA can't explain that.
They're trying to kind of figure it out right now.
And the conflict on the Ukrainian border is adding a new strain. Russia is the world's second largest oil producer. If the crisis escalates, JP Morgan says oil prices could soar from $91 a barrel to $120.
If we were to see Russia potentially withhold energy exports, the question would be, who could make up for that?
I'm going to work like the devil to bring gas prices down.
It's a huge political problem for the Biden administration, which says it's now engaging with oil-producing countries to increase production, preparing to go after firms that manipulate prices, and considering dipping back into the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. In November, they announced the release of 50 million barrels from that supply.
It resulted in very little, more like negligible impact.
At this price point, you'll start to see more production come back. But there's still a gap that needs to be filled.
One source of hope, new talks with Iran over a nuclear deal. If that gets done, Western companies could start buying more Iranian oil. But as of now, oil prices are expected to keep rising for months, adding fuel to inflation on everything from groceries to store goods, and driving price hikes at the pump.
It's not just my car, it's every single aspect of my life is impacted by gas prices.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Welcome back to NAZ Today, guys. Once again, my name is Hannah Ware, and I'll be your student weather forecaster for the night. Currently at 6 p.m., we are seeing a temperature of 45 degrees and southwest winds pushing at 21 miles per hour. However, though, we can see in our current satellite, those can even get up to 30 miles per hour with lots of coverage right here. Make sure you bundle up and be careful, like I said earlier, when you're driving for some unsecure objects, especially if you're driving a bigger vehicle. We can even see gusts at 40 to 55 miles per hour, so pretty chilly night if you'd ask me. Looking at our highs and lows today, we do see a high of 51 with a low of 22. Right on par with those averages, even though we are seeing a very cold, chilly night tonight. We're nowhere near that record low at -10 in 1942. Once again, no precipitation, meaning no rain or snow since January 1st, adding to our 0.17 inches. However, that'll all change tomorrow with our 40% chance of snow showers. Looking at our high temperatures, we can see in that outer region of northern Arizona, Prescott, you're at a high of 67, Phoenix almost up to those 80 degrees, and Winslow, you're sitting at 69. And to tonight, we will see a forecast low of 22 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, and we will see a full moon. However, it'll be difficult to see those stars with that cloudy skies. Our sunset is at 6:09 p.m., so you have missed it. Moving into tomorrow, we will see a high of 37. Of course, cloudy skies with our snow showers at 40% chance. And as we head into tomorrow for our highs and lows, in Phoenix, you'll drop back down to 62 with the low 44. Lake Havasu, even though you're sitting nice and pretty at 67 with the low 51, there is a wind advisory, so make sure if you're going out on the lake. And we can see in that Flagstaff, Page, Winslow area, we are seeing high 30s to low 50s. As we head into the weekend, once again, we already went over Wednesday. On Thursday, sunny skies once again, like that snow never happened at 42 degrees. We'll slowly climb back up to 53 on Saturday, partly cloudy skies, and pretty much the same for Sunday as well. Well, that's all we have for weather. Stay tuned after the break for sports with Lindsay Ridgway.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore. So you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
If you drive buzzed,
it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to NAZ Today. I am your Tuesday night sports reporter, Lindsay Ridgway, here to fill you in on what's been going on in the sports world. This past weekend, the Los Angeles Rams took home the win at the 56th annual Super Bowl in their own stadium and city. Among all the special things that come out of their win, 28-year-old wide receiver Cooper Kupp took home the title as Super Bowl MVP. Kupp is actually a Big Sky alum, having played at Eastern Washington University from 2012 to 2016, where he played in our very own Sky Dome. Kupp caught 6 passes for 55 yards and a touchdown in a loss to the Lumberjacks in his sophomore season, and then had 12 receptions for 111 yards for a win here in Flagstaff in his senior year. He then was drafted to the LA Rams the following year in 2017 as a 3rd-round pick. Coming back closer to home with high school winter sports coming to an end, so is Graceland Nez's basketball career at Flagstaff High School. I sat down with both her and Coach Tyrone Johnson to see what's next for Graceland and the team the rest of the season. Take a look. With over 1,000 kills in volleyball and 1,000 points in basketball, Flagstaff High School senior Graceland Nez has certainly left her legacy in Northern Arizona high school sports.
High school as a kid, unassuming, just coming out looking to try basketball at the high school level to ultimately being one of the best players that's came through. And so just being able to witness her growth and maturation has been good. And this year has been big in the sense that her leadership and her vocal leadership has really stepped up.
With Nez's impending graduation, Coach Johnson says it won't be a loss they will be able to overcome quickly.
So losing her to graduation is just going to be big because you lose ultimately your best player that you have, and so that always leaves a void.
Nez states that the reason she believes she has gotten as far as she has is because she has made herself a coachable player.
I really listened to what my coaches said, and I learned off of them, and because of them I'm at this point.
When asked what she will miss most about her time at Flagstaff High, it is not one single person, place, or thing, but instead just the pure gratefulness it has brought her.
My biggest takeaway is probably realizing how blessed I am. And it's not like a bragging way. I'm talking about the support I have from my friends, from my family, from my teammates, from my coaches. After learning that, I've seen that a lot of people are there.
Lindsay Ridgway, NAZ Today. Graceland's presence and skill will surely be missed after graduation, and we wish her the best of luck with all she does. Looking forward, both Coconino and Flagstaff boys basketball teams are down in the Valley tonight for the first round of 4A playoffs. Number 10 Coconino faces off at number 7 Paradise Valley, while number 13 Flagstaff competes against number 4 Deer Valley. Both games will be starting rather quickly after our broadcast at 7 p.m. We wish both teams the best of luck. Well, that's all I have for you tonight for sports, but stay tuned after the break for your weather recap with Hannah Ware.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses.
You heard how
I
loud
know,
was.
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
How prepared is your family if a wildfire shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or an earthquake? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
Let's go.
you'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Make a plan today.
You.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me? I just found out my work party is a +1. You wanna go? This is my boss, Ella.
Nice to meet you, Greg.
You're welcome. Nope, I'm high. But I'll clean the kitchen while you're gone.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
Pool party at Jesse's. Can you drive? I'm toasted.
Nope, I'm high. But I can order us a ride.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Everybody, I'm here to recap that Flagstaff extended weather. I know that I said our wind advisory was going to end at 8 p.m. tonight. However, tomorrow we're pretty much going to be seeing our second winter of the year with a snow chance of 40% chance of snow, and even rain tonight. That might be exciting for a lot of you. However, on Thursday and Friday, we do see sunny skies, which is going to glaze over that snow and turn it into ice. So be careful while you're driving, especially at night. And once again, pretty skies on Saturday and Sunday, 53 and 51. That's all we have for weather tonight, but back to you, Liam and Tori on desk.
Thanks, Hannah. Definitely some interesting weather we got going on this week. But in other news, Valentine's Day was yesterday, and if you didn't have a Valentine, we got news for you.
That's right, Tori. Today is actually National Singles Day for all you lonely lovers out there. I do have to say, something I'll take away from this holiday is incorporating some self-care, some self-love into my everyday routine.
I didn't have a Valentine personally, so this is my day to shine.
What are you going to do tonight, Tori?
I was thinking, maybe some skincare, watch a movie, relax on the couch.
Hey, self-care, like I said, always a good thing.
That's all we have for today, but follow us on social media and check us out on YouTube, and tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m. Channel 4.
Good night.